Have you ever wondered why it's important to wait for marriage before becoming one flesh? Well, let's delve into this a little deeper. You see, patience is more than just a virtue. It's a principle deeply rooted in the Bible. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 4, it says, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." This scripture is a divine encouragement to remain patient, to persevere, as it is through this process that we mature and become whole. But how does this tie in with waiting for marriage, you might ask? Let's consider a piece of pottery. When a potter molds clay, they don't rush the process. They take their time, shaping and molding, allowing the clay to form naturally under their skilled hands. And once it's shaped, it's not yet complete. It must be fired, hardened, and then it can be painted and finally glazed. Each step requires patience, and skipping any part of the process could result in a less than perfect end product. The same goes for our relationships. Waiting for marriage is like allowing the clay to be shaped, fired, and glazed. It's about taking the time to get to know each other, to build a strong foundation built on love, trust, and mutual respect. It's about learning to navigate life together, to handle disagreements, to support each other in times of trouble, and to rejoice together in times of joy. When we rush into marriage without taking the time to develop these essential aspects of a relationship, we risk ending up with a relationship that's fragile, easily broken, and not as beautiful as it could be. But when we exercise patience, when we wait, we allow our relationship to mature, to become solid and strong, just like the potter's clay. So as we move forward in our relationships, let's remember the value of patience. Let's remember that it's not just a virtue, but a command from God. Let's remember that it's through patience that we become mature and complete. As we can see, patience is not just a virtue, it is a command from God that leads to maturity and completeness. But why is marriage so significant in the eyes of God? This question often arises, and the answer lies in the divine nature of marriage and its role in maintaining the sanctity of life. In the Christian life, marriage holds a paramount position. It's not just a social contract or a legal agreement between two individuals, it's far more profound than that. Marriage is a covenant, a solemn promise made not just between two people, but also with God. It's a divine institution, ordained and blessed by God Himself. That's why the scripture passage Hebrews 13:4 emphasizes, "Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral." This verse encapsulates the sanctity and importance of marriage. It's a call to honor marriage, to respect it, to value it. It's a call to keep the marriage bed pure, free from the stains of immorality. It's a warning that God will judge those who dishonor the sacred institution of marriage. Marriage is a reflection of God's unending love for us, His children. It's a mirror of the relationship between Christ and His church. Just as Christ loves the church unconditionally, so should husbands and wives love each other. This divine nature of marriage makes it sacred, makes it holy. Marriage is also crucial in maintaining purity. In a world where sexual immorality is rampant, where the sacredness of sex is often trivialized, marriage stands as a beacon of purity. It's within the bounds of marriage that sex is not just an act of physical intimacy, but a divine expression of love, a celebration of unity, a means to procreation. It's within the sanctity of marriage that the beauty of sex is truly appreciated. Therefore, marriage holds a sacred position in God's plan, and its sanctity should not be taken lightly. It's a divine institution that deserves our utmost respect and honor. It's a covenant that should be entered with sincerity, with love, and with God at its center. Because marriage, in its purest form, is a reflection of God's love for us, and that's why it's so significant in the eyes of God. So, what are the rewards of waiting for marriage? In our world today, patience is a virtue that seems to be fading. Yet, the benefits and blessings that come from waiting, especially in the context of marriage, are worth every moment of patience. Let's consider the scripture passage from Proverbs 20, verse 21. "An inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end." Now, this isn't a verse we usually associate with marriage, but it holds a profound truth we can apply to the context of rushing into physical intimacy before marriage. Think of marriage as an inheritance, a precious gift that is meant to be cherished and valued. And like any inheritance, claiming it too soon, rushing into it without fully understanding its value, can lead to consequences. It's like unearthing a seed before it's had time to grow. You miss out on the beauty of the flower that it was meant to become. Waiting for marriage allows us to grow, individually and together. It provides time to understand each other, to build a foundation of trust, respect, and love. It's an opportunity for personal growth, for spiritual growth, and for the growth of the relationship. Waiting also teaches us patience and self-control, virtues that are not only beneficial in a marital relationship, but in all aspects of life. It helps us to appreciate the beauty of the journey, to cherish each moment, each milestone, and not just the destination. And when we wait, when we resist the temptation of the immediate for the promise of the future, we are blessed with a deeper, more meaningful connection with our partner. A connection that is not just physical, but emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. In waiting, we are preparing ourselves for a lifetime commitment, for a partnership that is built on more than just physical attraction. We are preparing ourselves for a marriage that is strong, that is enduring, and that is blessed. As we see, waiting for marriage brings blessings and prevents the consequences of hasty actions. In conclusion, why should we value waiting for marriage? It's not just about the wait itself, but about the virtues that we cultivate along the way. The patience we learn is not merely a virtue, but a life skill that helps us navigate the ebbs and flows of life. The sanctity of marriage, too, is not just about the ceremony or the ring. It's about the covenant, a sacred promise made before God and with one another. It's about honoring that promise, that commitment, with integrity and faithfulness. And the rewards of waiting? They go beyond the immediate, beyond the tangible. The rewards are deep-rooted in personal growth, spiritual maturity, and the formation of a strong foundation for a lasting, meaningful marriage. As we close, let's reflect on these points in our own lives. Let's remember the value of patience, the sanctity of marriage, and the profound rewards of waiting. May we all strive to honor God in our relationships, understanding the profound value of waiting for marriage.